Wonders shall never end. Just when you think, oh, I've seen it all as far as Nigeria is concerned, nothing can shock me. Nothing about Nigeria can shock me again. And then the most incredible happens. The most hilariously incredible happens. The Economic Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, turned ex-governor Rochas Okorocha, he's actually a senator, turned him into a pastor, an emergency pastor, couple of days ago. Yes, this just happened. They turned Okorocha into an emergency pastor. You know that thing the Bible says that Elijah was a man of like passion like us. I never realized how much Okorocha was, how much of a man of like passion like us that Okorocha really is. Yet, when he was governor of Imo State, Rochas Okorocha behaved like God Jr. Rochas Okorocha behaved like he'd never heard the name God in his life before. He behaved like, I'm the God everybody should bow to. And oh my word, it was hilarious seeing him fidgeting in his house, on his knees, calling on God to come and save him from EFCC as they were raining bullets outside, outside his home. The noise of the bullets ringing out, it was so deafening. And he was inside his house. He had the camera set up and calling for help, asking people to please give him help. Let help come. People should please share the video and let help come. Help from where, Okorocha? Help from where? Help from the people of Imo State that you robbed. You robbed them blind. You denied the teachers their salaries, just like all the other governors in Nigeria. It's as if the ones in Imo and Abia are the worst ever governors on earth. You robbed them of pensions. You robbed teachers of salaries. You robbed workers of their salaries, and you told them they should go to the farm. Okorocha said he was going to reduce the work week to Monday to Thursday so that workers can go to the farm and take care of themselves. He denied them salaries. And he didn't just deny them salaries. He didn't just threaten, to deal with anyone that questioned him. He actually did it. The killings were so many. The violence was so much. He had people he could use to do whatever he wanted to do. Human life became worthless to Governor Okorocha. And he was the same one on his knees calling on God to come and deliver him from EFCC. God, come and help him. His whole family, every one of them, they were so traumatized. Everybody was lying on the floor to dodge bullets in his mansion. His mansion built with the money of Abia State citizens. He has a case in court with EFCC. Yes, they said twice he didn't come to court. He actually jumped bail. He stole billions, but I was shocked to hear them say it's only 2-point-something billion. How can it be only 2-point-something billion? But at least those they could trace, that was all they could trace to his looting, and he refused to go to court. He actually used 100 million naira to buy APC form as presidential candidate. And he wants EFCC to let him go because he's a presidential candidate so that he can go and participate in the primaries. You see, there are so many sides to this story. There are so many. Where do I even start from? Is it the fact that these men, governors, senators, ministers, were they forced? Were so sweet? Are they under a spell that they are ready to steal and take 100 million out of their stolen loot to buy APC presidential form when they know they stand no chance of winning? Is it that the man, their looter in chief, the man in charge of affairs of a crumbling nation, how is it that he convinced them? He will call each one and say, don't worry, you're the one. He will call another one and say, don't worry, you're the one. How could he have convinced them to buy that APC format 100 million naira? When Buhari became president, it was 25 million naira. That's what they charged for presidential forms. And he even said at that time that he had to he didn't have money. Somebody had to buy the form for him, more or less borrow money to pay. So you could not afford 25 million to buy form. But he is so sure that these people have the looted funds. They could afford 100 million naira just to buy a presidential form that you know you will never, ever, ever smell the ticket. You will never smell it. They know they will never smell it. Okorocha, Amechi, all of them, they know they won't smell the presidential ticket. But somehow they decided. Sometimes I say to myself, it's possible that APC decided that this is the only way they can have money to run their party, by using stolen funds. So they just tell everybody, look, steal as much as you can from your ministry. EFCC will not touch you. Just steal as much as you can and just give to the party. We need 100 million. They raised 26 billion naira. That's what they raised. People that cannot pay salaries. Lecturers have been on strike. They can't pay them the salaries as agreed. Doctors and hospital services are almost non-existent. Doctors are not being paid. Most of them have gone abroad. Nurses, the same thing. And no roads, nothing, and there's no security. All the government is doing is arming militia to just take over people's lands. Do what you like. Take over, slaughter as many as you can and take over their lands. Did you see the video of that man? Oh, don't worry, that's another program where a man was saying, look, we are cattle rearers. Cattle don't produce guns. These guns are given to us by the government. I'm going to do a program on that and show you what this man actually confessed. He said it's the government that is arming us to kill and cause as much mayhem as we want. Oh yes, we knew that all along. Let me not digress. Okorocha became an emergency pastor just because EFCC came to his house to arrest him. Rather than give up himself, rather than come out and say, don't shoot, don't worry, so that you don't harm my family, here I am, take me to the court. But because he knows the billions he's stolen, he knows that he wants to keep deceiving himself that he hasn't done anything wrong, and he thought that the man that has used him to perpetuate so much iniquity in Imo State would protect him. He thought that, as long as I dance to the tunes of the government in power against the wishes of the people of Imo State, the president will protect me. The president will just be sipping his tea, saying, Yamini, stupid man, idiot, don't know anything. Look at them, they speak grammar, they don't know anything. Me, I didn't go to school. I'm better than all of them. I have more sense than them. Yes. He will just be laughing. He will just be mocking. And these educated men, these so-called governors, senators, all they are just good at doing is just looting the treasury. Looting and looting and looting. And then they are calling on God. Okorocha was calling on God. God, please come and help me. God, please come and save me. God, please, let mercy. Do you know how many pregnant women called God and died in the hospital because there was no medication for them? There was no drip for them to receive, for the nurses to give them and put injections in them, at least to reduce the blood pressure while they are in the labor room. Do you know how many have died in the labor room because Okorocha looted the funds meant for the hospitals? Do you know how many died of malaria? How many children died unnecessary death due to minor infections, but because there's no treatment, no medication, no facility to treat them? Okorocha is busy calling on God. Which God, Okorocha? Which God? I thought you were the God, Okorocha. You made yourself God over men. You decided the fate of men. You led many to their early grave, Okorocha. So you can call on God now. When I saw that video of Okorocha, it just reminded me of one thing. Something in the Bible. That's what it just reminded me of. And I'm going to read it. It's in the book of Revelation, chapter 6. It says, and I beheld when he had opened the sixth seal. I'm reading from verse 12 of Revelation chapter 6. And I beheld when he had opened the sixth seal, And lo, there was a great earthquake, and the sun became black as sackcloth of hair, and the moon became as blood, and the stars of heaven fell unto the earth, even as a fig tree casts her untimely figs when she is shaken of a mighty wind. And the heaven departed as a scroll, and it is rolled together, and every mountain and island were moved out of their places. And the kings of the earth, and the great men, and the rich men, and the chief captains, and the mighty men, and every bondman, and every free man, hid themselves in the dens and in the rocks of the mountains. They hid themselves. They hid themselves, and they said to the mountains and rocks, follow us, hide us from the face of him that sits on the throne, and from the wrath of the Lamb. For the great day of his wrath is come, and who shall be able to stand? The great day of the wrath of God is coming. It's coming. Governors, you can loot as much as you loot. You can keep sending people to an early grave through starvation, denying people salaries, denying pensioners their salaries. They can't pay rent. They can't take care of their children. They can't buy sanitary pads for their daughters. Our teenage daughters are selling their bodies for recharge cards, for sanitary pads, because the governors have castrated their fathers. Because the governor has stolen what belongs to the people. The local government chairman can't do anything because all the allocations that come to them, the governor sees it. Because the governor sees these allocations since they actually appointed the local government people. Elections are never free. They're neither free nor fair anymore. But that day is coming. That day is coming. When people will run to the mountains, the great men, the Bible said the great men, those who looted what belongs to everybody. God created enough to take care of humanity, but a few greedy thieves looted them all in the name of leadership in Nigeria. They looted, and they're still looting and looting and looting. They are like the grave that is greedy, that never says enough. But that day is coming. When I saw Okorocha on his knees praying unto God, running helter-skelter in his house, nowhere to hide anymore, I just said that's how it will be on that day that the Bible talks about, when the elements will give way, when the trauma of the melting of the elements, the moon, the earth, just being rolled away, the sight of it all will cause men and women to run helter-skelter. The Bible says, the kings of the earth, the great men, the rich men, the chief captains, the mighty men, the bondman, every free man, they hid themselves in the dens and the rocks of the mountains. God gave a revelation of what will happen at the end time. And it's coming. We're getting closer and closer and closer to the end of the age. And they say they will hide and say, mountains, please, hide me. The mountains will not be able to hide anybody. Just like Okorocha's house could not hide him from EFCC. His house could not hide him. There was no hiding place again. EFCC eventually arrested him. And I know that people will say, well, he's not the only looter. All of them will face their judgment day. Someday they will face it. Because what the iniquities that they've committed in Nigeria through looting of public funds, it's never happened anywhere before in the world. The looting going on in Nigeria, it's never happened before in the world. Never heard of such a thing. And the poor are still crying. The old, the aged are just dying of starvation. Sicknesses that shouldn't kill people are just killing people. I was just speaking with a friend of mine, and she said to me, the way we fast in Nigeria, we fast and fast and fast and fast, yet evil continues. I said to her, do you know I heard a lot of Nigerians have ulcer? A lot of people in Nigeria have ulcers from fasting, from starvation. And I said, look, enough of the fast. Enough of the fast. Let's do it Jesus' way. I live in the United Kingdom. They don't fast. They don't go to church, but they do the right thing. The medical services are free. You have food, you have light all the time, the roads are good, everything. You have your salary that is due to you. Nobody holds on to your salary. Nobody steals pensions that belongs to the seniors. But they hardly carry their Bible saying we are fasting, 100-day fast. It's just religion you're doing in Nigeria. Stop punishing yourself and developing ulcer. The Bible said the fasting I've chosen for you is that you give your food to the hungry, that you clothe the naked. Jesus said the greatest commandment is not to fast, is to love your neighbors, you love yourself. Do unto people as you have them do unto you. That's what it's all about. That's what it's. But in Nigeria, the leaders don't know that aspect of God. They don't care about that aspect of God. They don't care. All they care about is, God, come and hide me. Come and protect me from EFCC. God, please. Judgment day is coming. The wrath of God is almost here. I just thought I should share that with us. Thanks so much for stopping by. And if you're watching me on my YouTube channel, please subscribe, click the like button, and share. If you're watching me on my Facebook channel, Just Be Life Encounters, please click the follow button. Follow, like, share. God bless you. Thank you so much for watching.